Alright, so you may know me from such things as shooting tiny things really far away, and that is my passion, that's my hobby, that's what I put a lot of my time and effort into, all things firearms related, defense related, but that actually goes hand in hand with something else that I'm really into, that I really follow closely, and that I think is a big problem, and that is the society in America today and what's going on as far as the socialism, wokeness, whatever you want to call it, wrap it all up into a ball. I think it's all terrible, and I want to talk about this channel. I don't want it to be, this is going to be my separate channel from my firearms content, and I want this to talk about, I don't want to just make this channel me telling you about the newest woke socialist nonsense thing that's going on that's going to upset you. There's plenty of people out there to do that, that do a great job of that. If you're listening to mainstream media, I suggest skewing from that and listening to some other sources so you can really understand what's going on with our political climate. But I don't want this channel to just tell you about those things. We may talk about the newest woke socialist thing, but I also want to talk about ideas and ways that we might be able to fight back against it. So that's what this channel is going to be. We're going to call it Fixing Stupid, because the whole thing is absolutely stupid. And we're going to talk about ways. Now, first thing I want to say is my ideas, my ways, my thoughts may not be the best, the right way to go about anything. And I'm open to any other ideas, but I want this to be a jumping off point, at least for conversation, on ways that we can fight back as a society against this woke socialist takeover of our country and basically the world as it looks like at this point. So with that being said, I want to talk about something, one of the main ways that I think we can absolutely fight back against all this stuff, and that is by changing the culture. Now, if you follow politics, you've heard many people talk about the culture, and the culture is, in my personal opinion, the way that you fight back in the most effective way against what's going on, especially in our youth culture. The woke socialist nonsense has completely infected and has its tentacles all throughout our youth culture, whether it's colleges or even high schools now. So with that, I think changing our youth culture is going to be one of the best ways to fight back against the woke socialist nonsense, because if our youth grows up understanding liberty, freedom, rights, all the things that make America America, then as they grow up they will vote and support things like that. So with that being said, I want to talk about one of the things, a person who is really doing an awesome job and actually catching a lot of traction fighting back and getting his message out to a lot of the youth, and that is a guy named Tom Mcdonald. So Tom Mcdonald, if you don't know, is a rapper. Now, I am a fan of all music. I listen to my playlist, literally in the same playlist will consist of everything from Hank Williams to Led Zeppelin to Notorious B.I.G. I'm a product of the 80s and 90s, so I listen to rap, and it's something I really keep up on, as well as all music. So because of that, Tom Mcdonald is somebody that I've kind of watched and listened to a lot of things he's said, and he's really started to catch a lot of traction, especially over the last year or so. Tom Mcdonald has several #1 songs. He's dropped several of them, and the messaging in these songs are fighting back against the woke culture, the socialism, the nonsense. And I understand that, especially in like the firearms community that I'm in, rap is not a big genre of music. There's not a lot of people that really keep abreast of what's going on with rap. And I understand that. I understand a lot of it's an older crowd, and even the ones that are younger, it's just not their thing. But with that being said, I think that this is something that we really need to support, and we really need to promote as a culture that wants to fight back against wokeism and socialism and all the nonsense. Because the lyrics in some of these songs that he's put out, he's got one called Fake Woke, one he just put out called America, one that he had with another guy recently called Propaganda. But it's all really good songs that are fighting back against this woke nonsense culture. So I wanted to highlight him in this first video here on this channel, talk about him, and hopefully as he gets bigger. Another thing I want to say about him is he's doing this independently. He's not controlled by a label. One of the things you'll notice is that most of your bigger, more famous rappers that are all signed to these bigger labels are all following this woke culture stream. And Tom Mcdonald not being signed to a label, but still getting just as much, if not more, attention is something that we need to elevate, and something that we need to promote as a culture to fight back, because, at least in my personal opinion, because as more people see that, more, especially the youth sees that, it starts becoming cool amongst the youth to promote liberty and freedom again, then that will translate to more and more youth, more and more artists that speak to these youth, and hopefully we can change the youth culture and speak to them through music as well as many other ways. But I think that is a great way and something that really needs to be highlighted. So first off, my hat's off to Tom Mcdonald for doing what he's doing. Big fan of his music, and just wanted to say that I think he's doing a great job in helping us fix some stupid. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. You snort like your mom. Oh, look, you bumped it all the heck.
Sorry. Sorry.
Snorting like your mom.